I just want to say welcome, folks. It's your buddy Clutch. I just want to welcome y'all back to another episode of Happy Trees. This one's a special edition. We're taking a trip down memory lane. First off, I gotta say sorry about my voice in this video. I don't know what I was doing with my voice. I was trying to sound really cool, cooler than what I was really sounding.
But before we do, like, comment, subscribe.
So this is one of my earlier videos that I put out, and I put in a lot of work for this video. It was one of those labors of love, and it shows a lot of work. I was learning DaVinci Resolve, learning what my computer can do and what it can't do, and I spent a lot of time on this video, way too much time.
About 2 weeks ago,
I tried to make this whole scene and setup really dramatic and cinematic, but I also shot it with a cell phone camera and my Lumix G7. It took a lot of work to get it to look this way. Enjoy.
I have AC Infinity 5-gallon square pots, AC Infinity T4 fan, and a VivoSun 2-gallon sprayer. I originally started with a 4x4 VivoSun tent that was kind of lightweight. The AC Infinity is much heavy duty, and it just looks better.
So I did a lot of work to save this scene.
Also make sure to have all my plants labeled.
It was honestly blown out. Pretty impressive. I was impressed with myself. How well I recovered the color details in the scene and made it look very contrasty. I did a good job. I'm proud of myself. Pat myself on the back for this one.
Even still, you want to have them identified because each plant's going to have different characteristics. But we're moving on to grow media and containers. So far, I like to use a 50-50 mix. You'll see it pop up on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I like to use Fox Farm because it's readily available. It's cheap. And you can find
this music selection, I'm sorry.
I also like to use.
I found a cheap trap website, made digital trap, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And so I decided to add it as background music for this video. But I did a pretty bad job of sound balancing, so your ears paid for it. Plus, I tried to sound really cool, like Barry White. I just dated myself.
Organic type mix. I like to use dry amendments from Down to Earth. I use their 444 and their 284. I make sure to use 1 tablespoon per gallon of media for each pot in my 5-gallon Infinity Square fabric pots. Later on, I like to bump that mixture up to 2 to 3 servings of each per gallon of media, especially in the flowering state. But just look how nice they're coming along. This was just transplanted. You always got to make sure you water properly too. We're going to cover that in a second, but just admire how nice that little plant is looking. That's only 2 weeks. To save money, I like to use city water. The water around here is about 7.5 to 8.6. It also has chloramines in it. We'll talk about that later. But I make sure to pH my water down to about 5.5 in the flowering state, and anywhere between 5.5 to 6.8 in normal stages.
Learning the editing process, I held on this shot way too long. But it's something you learn, you move on, and you get better.
pH levels. But with watering, it's very important that you water at the appropriate time. You can do more damage to your plants, especially in a soil or soilless growing media, by overwatering or underwatering. Personally, I like to water the plants when the first part of my knuckle on my first finger is bone dry when I put it in the soil. Especially in the early stages, because water goes downhill. If you water properly, you usually will fill up the pot. And you'll have moist soil at the bottom. But if you don't, you gotta water more frequently. But you always want to avoid overwatering. If you overwater, don't worry, there's a quick fix to that. We'll talk about that in later videos.
Not gonna lie, I did have a lot of fun shooting this stuff.
Properly is the best way to play.
But I learned that certain graphics and transitions killed my computer as I was doing
Very
this.
important. I use a little fan, a Honeywell fan, because airflow is crucial. It helps the roots get oxygen. It helps push CO2.
I know I mentioned it earlier in the video, but these stock sound effects were pretty crappy, except for this wind sound effect earlier, but most of it was pretty bad.
It's fan to suck some of the air out when the tent's closed, because you want to have a current cycle of fresh CO2 and fresh oxygen flowing around your tent for your plant health. The leaves need
I just want to say this has been a long journey. It's been worth it though. I've learned a lot, done a lot over time, interviewed quite a few people. Since this video has been made, this was 2 years ago. It's hard to believe. Come a very long way, and I'm getting better each and every time.
Since you're here,
plus we also do a lot of other things. We go places now, we take video, we do photography, we also do event videos and other stuff as well. So High Neighbor has come a long way from just growing plants.
I did have auto watering set up, but we're in the process of moving, so I had to break it down. So I went back to using my 2-gallon VivoSun sprayer. It is very important to always check your plants for early detection of pests, mold, fungus, mildew, all of that stuff that can be prevented early on. Being a lazy grower makes you a lazy grower. Doesn't get you good results in the end. It's always good to stop in and see yourself in the labyrinth. But that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys. So on that note, we're gonna keep it moving, baby. We have plenty of things in store for y'all. More episodes in the plant labyrinth. We're gonna be doing more Q&As, more videos. We're gonna be talking about different aspects of growing. We're gonna be breaking it down step by step. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. There'll be more to come. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and click that bell to get all the latest videos from High Neighbor as we go along this journey in the plant labyrinth. So hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. On the next episode of the Plant Labyrinth, we're going to be covering germination and seedlings. So hopefully we see y'all back here next time in the Plant Labyrinth. Y'all have a great one. And thanks for watching.